quick, painless, and then we can go and be done for the week, okay? So my name is Danika. I have been in the company for 2.5, it'll be 3 years next year. I started out doing data entry, then they moved me to shop administrator. And then about probably 6 to 7 months ago, I took on the parts department as well. So you'll find me back there running the parts. I love it here. It's been an amazing few years. A lot of people, when working for a company, say, you know, like, wow, they treat you like a family and all that kind of stuff. This place is really different. We fight like brothers and sisters. You're not gonna get along with everyone, but I promise you, like, what you put in, we give. It's a good place to work. I really like it. I'm still here. I decided to move around in the company and not just stay in one solid space, if that gives you, you know, anything. I really like working here. I like that there's different experiences, there's different things you can do. You're not just grounded to one job. If you are interested in other things, there is opportunities for you to do that. Yeah, so that's me. I'm gonna have you guys go around, introduce yourselves, let me know what division you guys are going into, and a little bit about yourself, okay? And then we'll get to all the other fun stuff, all right? You wanna go?
Oh yeah, my name is Jordan Bailey, and I'm going into Referral West, and I just got out of school 3 months ago, and so I'm originally from like the East Coast, and been living here for like 2 years, and well, I had a few friends and family that drive trucks, and I just never inquired, and I started inquiring like a few years ago, like, what's that like? Mm-hmm. And they just told me about the money they make, and I learned a lot. I just started learning from them a little bit about what it's like, and I got a friend that drives trucks for like 12 years in Portland. My mom's husband owns a logging company in North Carolina. And so it's been really interesting. I wish I had talked to him about it a long time ago, because I probably would have taken and initiated getting my license a long time ago. But I'm really interested to, you know, learn everything there is to learn and be the best driver that I can be. So.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your name?
My name's Justin, a new student, just graduated last week, doing the dedicated water run.
Nice. Nice. Exciting.
And I'm Joe. Worked here before, been out probably a couple of years. I did the water run before, and I'm gonna go back and do it again.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
Okay. So when I do roundtables, I always get with the managers and see if there's any topics that they would like me to discuss to the drivers that are listening out over the road. That is what is going on with the recording. It's for drivers to call in if they have questions, comments, or concerns, and it's also, we post it on our Facebook, I think on Monday, so that individuals that weren't able to listen in can listen and kind of hear what's going on with the trucking industry. As you guys will see, or as you know, there's a constant change, and especially in our company. So we just try to keep everyone updated, and this is a good way to do it. So this week, there was a few things that was talked about. So our driving referral bonus, if a driver comes and works for us, I believe for their 90 days, and a other driver referred them, then that driver that referred them gets a $2,000 bonus. So keep that in mind when you guys are here and you meet other drivers that.
Is it 1,500 or 2,000?
Nope, it's 2,000 now.
I thought it was, it wasn't just for the, driver appreciation week? Or-
No, it's year round. So if you were
Oh.
to go find someone and say, hey, come work for combined transport,
Uh-huh.
and they write down your name
And they
or
already
say,
have
hey,
a CDL?
and yep, and they make it for their like the probation stage, then you would get a $2,000 referral bonus.
And they're not straight out of school.
They need to be with us for a little bit.
How much experience do they need to have?
I mean, we hire guys with
Oh.
no experience. It doesn't matter what division they're going into. It could be glass, it could be FAK, it could be.
But
yeah.
I had heard they had to be not out of school.
I'm not
Not
100%
right out of
sure. I
school.
don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to check with Jason on that one. That's a really good question.
Oh, okay.
I just know that our referral bonus is $2,000. But I can get some more information on that and let you know.
Oh, yeah. How are other drivers listening to this? Just
That's a fantastic question, and I'm not 100% sure how that thing operates. I know how to start it and I know how to stop it.
okay.
But I do know that there's a way for them to listen.
Oh, okay. So
No one's ever called in on me, so I'm not 100% sure how it fully works. But I do know that they can listen.
Oh.
I think there might be a live broadcast on something.
There used to be a number you could call.
Was that it?
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
I think there's like an online streaming thing, and also like you could just call on your phone.
Yeah, okay.
It used to be that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like I said, no one's ever called or done anything live, done the roundtables, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's a really good question. Okay, so moving on. There has been lots of like change of addresses, change of phone numbers, anything that you guys change that we need to get a hold of you guys. Let driver services know so that we can update that. If you used to live in Eagle Point and then you moved to Nevada, we gotta know that because we're gonna send everything to your other address. And it makes it, with billing and accounting, just makes our life a lot harder if we don't know that you guys changed. So all you gotta do is call driver services and say, hey, my name's Joe Blow and I no longer live here and I live here. Please update that into our system. And they can easily do that. Okay, and that's.
is that you could just move to another part and still work here and do this?
I know that there's certain places that.
So I really want to buy some land and then like just basically I wasn't sure if I was limited to buy something in Oregon or just
So I know it depends on
probably will think
where, what, like if you're in Glass or if you're
Yeah.
in Blackwell, because Blackwell doesn't hit certain parts of the states.
Oh right.
So
yeah.
that is a really
They
good
go as
question.
far out as Denver though.
That is true, but I do know that there has been instances
Oh.
where we have had to talk to the driver wanting to come work for us because we can't get them home.
Oh yeah.
That's a really great question, and that would be a
Oh.
fantastic question for the career center.
Right. It was doesn't sound like a big deal.
It's not a huge deal. I just know that there's certain parts that are questionable sometimes.
Oh.
But if you are ever interested and you're like, hey, I want to move here, you can always call dispatch, you can call career center, you can call driver services, and
Alright.
someone will be able to answer that question for
Oh,
you. It
uh,
shouldn't be a problem.
Oh yeah, it's such a relief that they just it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah, I would just, like I said, if you are concerned,
Mhm.
just talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I really want to talk about winter driving. And there's a lot of things that go into winter driving. So right now, as of beginning of September to the beginning of May, it is required for all drivers, even if you aren't going to be heading anywhere with snow, to have chains on your truck. If you get pulled over into a scale and you don't have those chains, you will get in trouble. You need them. Even if you don't think that you need them, please have them on your truck. If you do not have them, if they are rusty, if they are old, they're not gonna work, they don't fit your truck or they don't fit your trailer, come let us know if you're here in the yard and we will get you equipped with exactly what you need to be successful out over the road. If you're out over the road and your stuff breaks or you lose it or whatever happens, call OTR, call driver services and say, yo, this is what's going on. what do I do? And they can help point you in the right direction. If you have to pay for it, then we do have the TransFlow to send your receipt in and you can get your money back for it. But please, please, please make sure you have change with you. Also, the November safety month, so every month we do a safety campaign. October was stay alert, don't get hurt. It was just kind of about, you know, what you need in regards of safety stuff. So you have your hard hat, you got your goggles, you got all that stuff, right? This upcoming month is winter driving. So just be cautious, you know, stock up on blankets and pillows and food. You never know if you're gonna hit a pass and you think you'll be fine, and the next thing you know, you're stuck in the middle of a storm. That's happened many, many, many times to drivers, and they have not been equipped with what they need to survive in it. So just keep that in mind. You might be doing your pre-trips and it says that it's gonna be 69 and beautiful, and you get there and it's not so 69 and beautiful. So just make sure that you are ready for all seasons, okay? With that also being said, if you see one of our drivers struggling on the side of the road and he or she cannot get their chains on, please lend a helping hand. If you have the time to pull over and say, hey man, or whoever, like, do you need some help? If they don't need help, great, but if they do, sometimes a little bit of kindness can go a really long way. This year's been hard on everyone, and we try to look out for each other. It's not Blackwell against Glass and Glass against Heavy Haul and Heavy Haul against FAK. We are all here to succeed, and we want to make sure that everyone has the tools and the people to succeed, okay? Just like if you're stuck on the side of the road and you got no one, it'd probably be nice if someone stopped and helped you too. Let's see. Do you guys have questions so far? No? Good. Comments? Concerns? All right, let me know if I'm going too fast.
If you need to put chains on, is it likely that it's also like too dangerous to drive?
Not necessarily too dangerous to drive. It's just they, you know, it could be coming up to be dangerous, yes. Or it's in an area where it's required.
Weather could change like
right.
on
an instant.
On a whim.
Right. And also if
for the worst, or should you wait like a while and see what the conditions are like?
If they have a sign saying put chains on, you need to pull over and put your chains on. Don't take that risk. The last thing that you want to do is take that risk and then have to call OTR or driver services and say, I'm screwed because you didn't stop and do what was asked of you to do. You know what I mean?
And the only time you put chains on is if you're going up a hill or a mountain.
Oh, okay.
Because chains weren't meant to drive down the highway with.
It'll tell you.
But a lot of the chain laws is going up a mountain or and going
The
down. Once you get down
passes.
the bottom, then you take them off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and there you'll start to see other trucks on the side of the road with their trailers putting their chains on too, and if you see that, then it's probably time that you pull over and put your chains on too. I would not wait. The last thing you want to do is cause an accident, get yourself hurt, get someone else hurt, get stuck, lose the load, and that stuff.
I get I can totally initiate that for sure, but I've been through Tahoe and it's like that in Colorado, so I realize there's that like kind of may feel like redundant or something, and you just have that lapse in thought when you see that sign or something, but I know that to initiate that. But.
Right, yeah, I would absolutely rather you be safe than sorry.
Right.
You know, especially if you get stuck. I mean, we gotta pay for a tow truck to get out, like there's a lot. So, and if we can prevent it all by just pulling over and put a set of chains on, I know it's gonna be wet and it's gonna be awful, and I feel for you guys, but if it's gonna, you know, in the long haul, you know, protect you and the people around you, then absolutely, please stop and do it.
Are there places that require? So are there a lot of places that require like electrical hazard, or you have customers that to get on the yard on their lot? Yeah, do they require like electrical hazard or safety toe boots or?
Do you know of any? Have you ever been to anything like that, Stevie?
No.
Oh.
Well, I I don't do Blackwell, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But with me, yeah, if I go to a steel mill, they may say you need steel toe boots, long pants, long shirt.
Oh,
Right, I mean, in most
FAK, I wouldn't
places,
see, I mean,
Oh,
Blackwell.
yeah.
I mean, I do know most
They
places.
may have you wear a vest.
I was gonna say, most places they want you to wear like a safety vest.
Yeah,
I
okay.
know with glass, there's a lot more that they need to wear.
Glass, you got arm sleeves.
You've got a whole getup,
glass
protectors.
gloves and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
Blackwell, I
little
don't-
different, but Blackwell,
I don't-
I'm not 100% sure because I know a lot of it is drop and hook.
See, I don't know either.
So, yeah.
I know,
They're
I've seen a
very-
lot of people that do that, and they wear sneakers, and they may have a vest on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't believe you need to wear a hard hat or any of
Like,
that.
here
Oh, okay.
we ask that if you're walking around the yard, that you have high vis on.
Yeah.
So that, I would just rather you be safe than sorry, but yeah, I also, I mean, I wouldn't be necessarily going out in your flip flops, but,
Oh, right, no, it's.
you know, going out in some shoes and whatever you gotta do, I
Best thing to
do.
is just keep a pair of steel toe boots in your truck.
Right, and then that way if
Yeah.
you do need to, then you're fully prepared.
Oh, it's still so the standard some places? Like, oh, I just don't like to have steel.
Like with
toe.
me it is, yeah, because like I said, I go into steel mills, I can't even go in the building if I don't have
If you didn't have, what,
steel toe
like,
boots.
the carbon nano, or, I mean, carbon fiber nano composite toe, that would work on most.
As long as it's, yeah, cause I know now they
Safety toe.
don't use steel, they have safety toes now.
Yeah,
Right.
oh, okay,
That
cool.
would
be
So
fine.
just avoid-
'Cause I had a pair of sneakers that was steel toed.
Yeah.
The more
And
safety
that
stuff
was
that
good.
you have, the
Yeah.
better it's going to be. You
Oh,
know,
right, okay.
hard hat, vest, gloves. I would absolutely make sure that you have a pair of gloves on your truck.
Yeah, okay.
But with reefer, I do know that it's a lot of drop and hook.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I don't know that part as far as Blackwell,
Yeah.
but I know with my job, yeah, cause I've gone into places in the summertime, and they won't even let me in the building unless I put a pair of long pants on, long sleeve shirt.
Right. Like in our
Gloves, steel toe boots.
you're not allowed to walk through you're not allowed to walk through the bays at all in our shop, but if you do, it is required that you have like closed-toed shoes, that kind of stuff, you know, just making sure that you're not walking in like shorts and a
Oh.
tank top and some flip-flops, like,
Yeah. Oh, I
just
just-
make sure, yeah. Valid question, you're having really good questions, by the way.
Well, I
Thank
can
you for
check
that.
with another Blackwell product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just ask around,
Cause like I
there's
said,
so many of
I
them.
really don't know.
Right.
And it
Okay,
also
good.
depends, you know, if you're doing the water run or I know it depends on what
Mhm.
like lane you're on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna depend on what places that you stop. If you're OTR, you're probably gonna stop a lot more places than the water lane. Water lane, they run back and forth.
Yeah.
So
I imagine it was gonna be like,
You may have to have a vest.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, that
always
may
have a
be the only
vest.
requirement they ask
something
for.
else than that.
Well, what
or-
about you? You
That,
just like those.
That, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever needed anything other than, I mean, closed-toed shoes and a safety vest.
Oh,
Right.
And
okay.
anytime there, and
'Cause you
even
work-
sometimes they
you work
made
reefer?
sure to let us know if there was any other safety stuff that you needed to have.
What did you work reefer or?
I did the water lane, and I
Oh, okay.
did a little bit of reefer as well, but yeah, I think in general, steel-toed shoes aren't necessarily a requirement, but like generally, I think that if there is something kind of extra that they
let
want you to have, they will let you know, your dispatcher will let you know.
Oh, okay.
right, Dad will call you up and say, hey, by the way,
Yeah,
this
say,
shipper
yeah.
is
Is there like a checklist of all the stuff you might need? They don't have a checklist, but they created.
It's just pretty much common sense.
Oh, yeah. right.
And
Okay.
like he said, like your dispatcher will like if you're on the phone with Trevor and he's like, hey, by the way, and that's your dispatcher, he'll tell you like, hey, this shipper is requiring that you do this.
Yeah.
Then make sure that you have those requirements.
Right.
You are right. Dispatch normally does let
And
you
you
know
can
if
even
there's
check with
something
them too
off,
before you,
right?
Oh,
I mean, give them a call like Monday and say, hey, look at this.
Oh, right.
Or you got a coach, right, for a little while?
Yeah.
Your
check
coach
with
will
them.
teach you too.
Mhm.
Your
Because he'll
coach
tell
will
you
have your back.
what you'll need.
Absolutely. I would
Right.
make sure you have gloves. I would make sure you have a safety vest.
Mm-hmm.
And just don't walk out in your slippers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just be ready.
I don't even bring slippers.
Right.
Yeah.
So really good question. I forgot what I was talking about. You have really good questions though.
I think I got you off track.
No, you're okay.
We were talking about the winter driving.
Safety equipment. Thank you. Thank you. So just make sure, like, oh, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so if you going back to the chain. So if you don't know how to put on your chains or you're a little rusty on it, there is videos that you can get through safety. You can call Melissa Dockery and she can send them over. There's also Earl, he's here during the week, but on Fridays, he can show you, like give you a touch up or whatever, on how to put chains on. So don't be afraid to ask. We would rather you ask and be 100% sure that you know what you're doing, so that way we can give you all the tools and resources that you possibly need to be successful out over the road, than you not ask and then get out over the road and be like, shoot, I have no clue, what the hell do I do? You know, it totally okay to ask those questions and ask for extra help or whatever. Don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed. That's what we're here for. We want to.
What are their what's Melissa's and
Melissa,
Carol's hours like?
Her name is Melissa Dockery. She works Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I believe she works 7 to 4, but I am not 100% sure on exactly what her hours are. But if you call her, she's very good at giving call back. You can call switchboard and just ask for Melissa and they'll transfer you over to her, and you can leave her a voicemail with whatever concerns that you have,
What
and
are
she'll
her
get back.
hours? Oh.
She's Monday through Friday. I just don't know if she's 6 to 3, 7 to 4, 8 to 5. I'm not
Oh, okay.
100%
Somewhere
sure.
around.
Yeah, but if you were to call her at 9 o'clock, she'll be there.
Oh, okay.
If she doesn't answer, like I said,
You
if
said
I
call the switchboard?
switchboard, yeah. If you just call the number for combined transport and
Yeah.
any
White
of
House?
us, yeah.
All the way.
Like if you
Yeah.
call the White House,
Yeah.
You'll
Okay.
get, hi, this is switchboard, then they'll be like, oh, okay, where do you need to be transferred? You can call
Okay.
driver services, you can call the shop, you can call any of us and say, hey, I need to talk to this person, and we'll transfer you to who you need to talk to. Okay? We all are aware of who does what for the most part, and if we don't, we'll help you figure it out.
That's great.
Okay. Okay, so going on a little bit more about equipment. So I can't stress this enough. Please, please, please do your pre and post trips. You're always going to want to inspect all of your stuff before you leave, right? So we don't want to be like, hey, Stevie, here's a trailer, go ahead and leave, and then Stevie leaves and he didn't do a pre-trip, and next thing you know, he's getting pulled over at a scale saying, dude, you've got an audible air leak. That's a DOT violation, we're shutting you down. Stevie wouldn't get shut down because he does pre-trips. So he could, yo, Danika, I've got an audible air leak on F112, what do I do? Bring it to me, pull it up to base 6, and we'll have it taken care of for you. Cool, that's all it takes. But if you don't do that, and then you get shut down.
You have a direct number?
I do have a direct line.
Oh, at the
Yes.
Parks Department?
Yes, and when you get your paperwork for your new assignment, my phone number is on there, as well as driver services number. Okay, but we make sure that when we send you out, that we give you all the papers that you need to get a hold of the people that you need. And with you having a coach, he or she will help you a little bit with that. So getting shut down at a scale with, an audible air leak, you're gonna have to call OTR, and then you're gonna have to let dispatch know what's happening, and that can all just be solved by doing a pre-trip. Doing a post-trip as well. You don't know what happened from your 600-mile run. You don't know. You have no clue. So the only way you're gonna know is if you do a walk around. I'm not telling you to get underneath with a flashlight and go crazy, but walk around, check your equipment. Is there a crack in your windshield? If there is, okay. Is it in your line of sight? Yeah, it is. Let's get it taken care of. We want to make sure that you guys are successful, but the only way that we're gonna know, or the only way we're gonna be able to help you be that successful, is if you also want to be successful. So just make sure that you're doing your pre and post trips. What happens if you guys pick up a trailer, you decide to pick up R328, and you didn't do a pre-trip on it, and next thing you know, you're driving down the road and you hear your brakes lock up, and that's because you didn't check it. Or what happens if you get to a shipper and there's a giant hole in the side of the trailer and they won't unload you, or they won't load you. Then what are you gonna do? You have to call dispatch and say, hey, this happened, and we could have solved that earlier. So just communicate, over communicate if you have to. I believe that there's trailer inspection reports that you have to turn in. If you do get a trailer that's damaged, call us. Hey, here's some pictures. It's kind of a cover your booty situation. You're not every trailer is gonna be pretty and perfect, so we understand that things happen. Just be honest with us. If you see something that you know wasn't you, report it so we can figure out what happened and we can fix it for you. But if we don't know something's broken, we can't fix it. Okay?
If you do break something, just admit it.
Just say it.
Just say, look, I backed into something.
My bad. You
Because
know?
if you don't,
Then
and you
it's
drop
much
the trailer
worse.
off, the guy that's picking that trailer up, he may get blamed for it.
Right.
This way here, you're covering yourself by saying, hey, look it, I
I
backed
did.
into this, I put a scrape on the trailer, then at least you're admitting it and not trying to hide it.
Right.
9 times out of 10, they won't say anything, they'll say, okay, is it still usable, or send us some pictures.
Right. The only time that we're really gonna swack ya is if you don't say anything, and exactly that. A driver decides to pick it up and you didn't say anything, and then we're gonna call you and be like, bro, why did you not, was this you? Like, the more honest you are with this company, the better that you will succeed, you know?
And that's the same way when you pick up a trailer,
Mhm.
check it, because the guy that dropped it off, they, oh geez, I ain't saying, call them and say, hey, look, if the trailer's got a big scrape down, do you know about it? No,
Right.
we don't. Well, I'll send you some pictures of it, I haven't even moved the trailer yet.
Or yeah, we do know.
Then now you're covering your butt, whoever had that trailer last, they'll call up and say, hey, geez, you happen to put a great big scratch, no, then that's up to
That's
them
on
to
them.
figure out who did it, but your butt is covered.
Right, now you can go. You're good. You're good to roll. Totally
Yeah.
fine.
That, like, crawling underneath there to, like, with a flashlight really ain't that, excuse me, like, bad of an idea, really. If
No,
if
it's
there was a
not.
break where you couldn't see it, then it might, like, that might be some, that might, instead of the trailer cracking on you while you're driving, like, breaking on you in half or something while you're running.
Well, and it's not just that, you know, if you do crawl under, you might notice something's rotten. You know, sometimes you pick up a trailer that's been sitting for a minute and you get underneath and you're like, yo, this is rotten. Is this safe for me to drive? Take pictures. Like, the more thorough you are with the equipment, and I'm not just meaning you and you and you and you, I'm meaning if everyone was more thorough with their equipment, then we wouldn't have that problem, right? If people really did do what they were supposed to do and they did their pre-trips and their post-trips, then you wouldn't have to pick up a trailer that's got a giant gash down the side of it, and you're like, dude, come on. So just
Or a flat tire.
right, and that's not even just with damages. That's if you've got R328 and you know the DOT's coming up in 5 days, don't go drop it for the next guy to take care of it. If you've got time and you're sitting at a TA, yo, Ronnie, this is blah, 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 in truck 490. Can we get R328 in for a DOT? I'm sitting here on my 10-hour break. Yeah, we would really greatly appreciate that, because it has happened to multiple guys where they get the trailer and it's either past due on the DOT or it's due the day of, and they've got 3 pickups and then 3 drop-offs to make in 24 hours. You know what I mean? And they don't have time, and now they're running with an illegal trailer. How is that? Just don't pass off. Take care of it. With that, especially with the newer trucks too, if you're not doing your PMs and taking care of your equipment, it can ruin the equipment, but also it ruins a warranty on it, you know? I used to like to say, treat your truck the way that you treat your house. And that's not even true, because I don't know how each individual likes their house. So treat this truck as if you would want someone to treat it, right? You wouldn't want someone coming in and punching the side of it, or I don't know, not taking care of the PMs. Like, you would want someone to take care of your stuff in the way that you would want it to be taken care of. So just make sure that it's your truck, but it's also the company's truck. So make sure that we're just doing the best that we can to keep up on the things, right? And the more that you take care of your equipment, the more likely you are to be able to get a new truck in the future, right? So we get new trucks, we try to get new trucks every year. So say I have an individual that's got a 273 and it's got an insane amount of miles on it, right? And so he doesn't really have a super bad event screen. So we want to give him a new truck. Thank you for taking care of your equipment. Thank you for caring. So here is a 2022 truck, right? We don't just give those out to anyone. You worked hard for that. So it's an incentive as well, you know?
Act like you own the truck.
Just take care
That's
of
the
it.
best way to do it.
Yeah.
Act like you own it, like it's your truck.
Just take care of it. That's really all we ask. And not just with the truck, take care of the trailer as well. Do you have anything to add? No? Can I ask you, since you're here, with the referral bonus, how does that work with students?
We don't do referral bonuses for students.
Okay, so I did not know that.
Yeah, only for experienced drivers.
Okay, and what is experienced, a year plus?
A year plus.
Okay, nice to know. So if he were to get someone, would he get the referral bonus? If he were to bring someone in?
Yeah, if you were to refer a person over that had experience, you can get the referral bonus. You just can't get the referral bonus for referring a student.
Okay, so if Steve Weisner were to, then he wouldn't get the referral bonus because he's a student.
Correct.
Okay, there we go, there's that question. What about, you know how certain parts of the state, if reefer doesn't reach it, do you know what I'm talking about? Then we won't, like if we can get them on home time, do you know what I'm talking about? So we had a individual that lived on the coastline, I think, and we couldn't get him home because he wasn't on any of our lanes to go. So he ended up not working for us. How does that work?
It's usually discussed in the pre-employment process.
Oh, okay,
Like, they keep a car here.
right.
Depending where they live, we may allow them to route through.
Okay, so if an individual were to look into moving, is that something that they would want to discuss with you guys just to make sure?
Yes.
And would it be the career center to discuss it with?
If they're already working for us,
Uh-huh.
I would have them talk to their department manager.
Oh, okay. So in return, if you were to be curious, then you would talk to Roger.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
I think that was all the major, with reefer, is there anything specific that they need in terms of like safety?
So we really need to base it off what the customer's requirements are. So if they require closed-toed shoes, then you gotta wear closed-toed shoes. If they require long sleeves, it's based on their requirements,
Right.
so.
Which we talked about, dispatch will let you know. Dispatch isn't gonna let you blindly go into a customer not knowing those things.
And most of the places, if they have special needs, they'll have signs posted too.
No, okay.
But if it's like steel-toed boots, usually we know in advance.
Oh.
But I can't think of any reefer customers that require steel-toe
Or composite toes.
or any kind of, usually it's just closed-toe.
Oh, yeah.
So you wanna be professional too, so you know, we ask long pants, closed-toed shoes, t-shirts, not tank tops, you know, those kind of things. But if they require something special, either we know about it in advance or they'll let you know when you get there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We're a really big thing is you represent the company, right? So how you act towards other individuals and at shippers and you know, just keep that in mind. Like showing up in footy pajamas, probably not the best idea, you know, just being presentable, that kind of stuff. A really big thing is if you have issues out over the road or here locally, reach out. Like if you're really having struggles with an individual, instead of taking it to the extreme, call one of us, and mainly probably dispatcher upstairs and say, hey, like Joe Blow from
Oh, right, like, if my trainer is, if they shut me down, like, from asking questions or something, and it's like, kind of, you know, I can't make a connection with them, like,
Tell
communication
us.
where I'm trying to learn, but then I can reach out to y'all and say, hey, look, really, I've tried everything
Absolutely.
to make this go smoothly, and,
Please
okay.
reach out to us.
yeah,
If you're feeling any sort of, if you're feeling that you're not, listen, we don't wanna bring you into the company and throw you and say, okay, either fly or fall.
yeah.
We wanna, okay, here you go, and help
Okay.
you get to where you need for you to fly off and be what you know, you need to do and be. The last thing that we want is for you to come in and feel that you didn't get enough training, or that your trainer didn't explain things well enough for you. Just because you learn a certain way doesn't mean that I learn that way, right?
Right.
So we need to make sure that you're getting the best that you need.
Oh, good, who can I call immediately? Jason? Oh,
You can call Jason.
Okay.
You can call Nick Hard. I mean, we're in the process of kind of,
Roger too? Or
Talk
You
to
can call
Roger,
Roger.
talk to
Okay.
myself,
Okay.
you know, we have our supervisors upstairs.
David?
Ty's up there right now, so you can talk to Ty.
Oh, Ty, okay, got it. Will do.
So,
yeah. I'm always there.
I had some trouble with the, just, you know, with training and stuff, with doing the backing and stuff. I just felt like Earl shut me down a few times, but I just try to, you know, make sure that I, you know, did the best I could, you know, so, but,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, if you have a training issue, you can talk to me or the supervisors.
oh, okay.
And then that way they can help you. Once again, if we don't know, then how can we fix?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, you know?
I was wondering, how many miles do you rotate the truck tires? Rotate the balance?
I don't know, I don't even do tires. That is a great question. I will ask someone that do you know off the top of your head? I will ask, just writing it down so I don't forget.
Oh.
And then I will follow up with you. It won't be till next week, but I'll give you a call and let you know how often. I don't really deal with the tires too much, so. What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
I will follow, that's a really good question. You're really asking fantastic questions, so
Yeah.
thank you, because most people don't, so I appreciate
Oh,
that.
Ask about rotating the tires on the trucks.
Yeah,
We don't.
you don't? Oh, okay.
That's why you do if you see a tire wearing,
Uh-huh,
then you let somebody know.
oh, okay.
I've never had my tires rotated.
Never, okay.
We don't rotate them, well, I know that there has to be
Not
the
all.
same,
I don't know about a vehicle, but on any
That's
company
right.
I've ever worked for.
I do know that the thread depth has to be the same, and I do know.
That's when you check, and then when you have a bad, like, if this tire's good and this one's bad,
Uh-huh.
They replace,
they'll replace this one. Depending on how low it is, they may replace both your steers.
Oh, okay.
And if you're cuffing on the inside, then that automatically tells them the truck needs to be lined up.
Oh.
If it's not, then you're all set. But as far as going in to say, hey, take this tire, put it over here, put this tire,
Right.
they don't do that.
and we do have a tire guy on, the yard.
Mm.
He's located behind the
Big shop.
big blue shop. Did you do the walk around? Yeah.
For the big, no, yeah, I did.
Where they showed you the tire chains and everything?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so down in the cage, on the other side of that cage is the
Mm.
tire shop. They're
Yeah.
open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5.
Oh,
So
right.
you can go down there and say, hey, I really feel like my tires are wearing weird.
Yeah.
And if you need an alignment, they'll text us or they'll call us and say, hey, truck whatever needs an alignment.
Yeah.
Or they'll,
Oh, they do the alignment here too?
no, we
No.
have to send you down and it's an appointment. But the tire guys can look at it, because you might think you need an alignment, and the tire guys will look at it and be like, no, we just need to do this.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really familiar with our tire system. I was never trained on that aspect. But I didn't even know that we didn't do that. So that's nice to know. I guess that makes sense thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, then, well,
Yeah.
I've never had any.
I've never even really, I don't go down there to watch them change them. I do know that they go around the yard and they look and they'll say like, hey, I feel like this tire needs to be changed.
Oh,
And then over the road, you just have to call them and say, hey, one tire is wearing really badly or whatever.
oh, okay.
Okay, so one of the last things that I want to, follow up on is our CSA scores. It looked like some of our scores went down a little bit, which is good, but I do know the combined is over the threshold in the majority of things. So, our unsafe driving decreased from 28 to 25, and the threshold is 65, so we're doing really good there. Hours of compliance is increased. It was at 80 and now it's at 86. The threshold is 65, so we are over what we need to be. Driver fitness has decreased by 1%. It was at 87. The threshold is 75. Vehicle maintenance decreased 2. It was at 77, and we're at 75, and the threshold's 80. So we're doing really good there. Controlled substance, 0 change. we're at 0%, so good for us. The threshold is 80%. And crash increased from 10% to 18%, but the threshold is 65. So we're doing pretty good. We just need to make sure that we're paying attention, and that's not just for Blackwell, or for combined. Blackwell unsafe driving is 12% with no change. Hours of compliance is 54. It was 58. Their threshold is 65. Driver fitness was 5 inspections with no violations. That's pretty good.
Blackwell's really good, they're below all thresholds.
Yeah, they're doing really, really good. So, once again, that goes along with your pre-trip and in your post-trips, right? Just make sure that you're checking that stuff. They say if you do, I think it's like 7 laps around your truck and your trailer, it equals a mile. Just get out, shut your feet a little bit, do what you gotta do, watch what you're eating, make sure you're drinking your water. Don't drink and drive, please. Don't have alcohol in your truck. Be, just follow what you gotta do.
Did somebody check out the company car and wreck it, or did somebody run into the company?
Someone else smashed into us.
Oh, wow.
And that person is okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Does that mean they'll be getting a new car now?
no, that means we're fixing that car. It's just a bumper. So just watch that. With that being said, for people that are listening and with you guys, with combined CSA scores being higher over the threshold, you will be pulled into scales more often. Just keep that in mind. You're gonna get a lot of red lights. And yeah, that's really all I got. Do you guys have anything? That went a little bit longer than I expected it to, I'm sorry.